Good evening, everybody. Wesley,
Hello, hello.
Wesley,
Yes,
how are you? Ah,
that's me. I'm doing pretty good. I've been looking forward to this.
yeah, sorry we couldn't stream last week. I was traveling for work to Portland, which I cannot recommend. Yeah, it's
Portland, the Maldives of nowhere.
I don't know what the Maldives are. Aren't those like islands
Oh,
of or
some
something?
kind of vacation place.
Yeah, right. We had a lot of fun. I'll say Oregon is a sweet place, just not Portland, okay? So, if
All right,
anyone is
fair
watching
enough.
from Portland, I apologize, but it's not my favorite. When we hopped onto the server, the factory is much more advanced than I recall it being. Really, Blue Tape. Blue Tape says he was
Oh
bored
yeah.
last week because we weren't streaming. I apologize. I sincerely apologize. We will reform our ways. We will do better. It was my fault. All right. Yeah. Wesley, what in the world were we doing? There's so much more than I recall. It's crazy.
Well, so we're in an interesting spot where we can kind of decide what we want to do next.
Ah, brilliant. Because I'll tell you what I want to do next is I want lasers. Weren't we like started getting into lasers or already did something? Yeah,
We
lasers.
hadn't started, but that's something we can work towards.
No, it's not. It's something we
We'll,
can do right
we'll
now. Oh, except we don't
Well,
have
you
blue
can
science.
research the laser, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
so we need blue science and military science for
hi
lasers
Teresa.
that do damage.
Okay, all right.
And we don't have either of those set up.
Hey, Ninja Alpaca, welcome, welcome. Well, then maybe
There's
that's the
certainly things we
way
can work
to go.
towards.
One thing that I do remember that I was doing was replacing, I believe it was this belt line, switching it from yellow to red because it's carrying two yellow belts worth of iron plates in here, and it needs faster throughput. And we just ran out of time. I was in the middle of doing it, as I recall.
All right. Here, I
But
can make these undergrounds.
ooh, thank you. Oop, oop. And then we should like split balance it between these two, right?
Uh, I'm I've always been a fan of just letting things back up as a
Mm,
way of like balancing lanes, you know?
yeah, that's fine. But I mean, like it's being split across these two right here already, right?
Yeah,
So we just need like that,
get
and then
the
a
red
red
all the way to there.
splitter, right?
Yeah,
Q. Okay, I gotta remember the controls. Do you have a red splitter? Do I have a red splitter?
I
You
got
have
one
a red
down.
splitter.
Yeah, so what that'll do is the everything up to this point is able to handle that full red belt
Mm-hmm.
up into this splitter. Uh, so that'll allow both of the yellow belts coming out of it to be full yellow belts.
Right. Which is probably hi mom, welcome, glad you made it. Thanks for coming. It's probably more than enough for this lower belt.
Yeah,
Like
so
we
you'll
might need to
notice
replace this line with red at some point, but I think we're fine for now.
a a full yellow belt coming down here is kind of useless since we only have half a yellow belt for it to go onto.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I see. I understand.
Um, and there are two ways to fix that. We could replace this with red because a full yellow belt is half a red belt.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure that we need to because there's not actually that much going on down here.
Yeah. At least not yet. We would have to like
Yeah.
extend this way down underneath these lines and put a whole bunch of production down here before that's going to be a real problem, right?
Yeah. I think what we might want to be looking at is chemical science packs.
Okay. That's the blue ones.
Yep.
Let's
They take
absolutely do that.
three. Each of those takes 3 advanced circuits. Each advanced circuit takes 2 electronic circuits, which means they each take 6 electronic circuits. So that is our first thing. Electronics are the green.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
every one of these is going to take half a dozen green circuits. And I was just going to say that means we need to upgrade our green circuit protection, but it looks like we already did that too.
Yeah. We
This is pretty hefty.
4 times it towards the end of the last stream, I believe. So yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, if we want to start... Ooh, hang on a second. Actually, I'm not even sure. So I'm looking at the recipe for these red circuits. It's
For the red ones.
plastic. Yeah. Plastic, copper cable, and greens. And
What?
greens take iron and copper cable. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
actually not even sure we want to pipe greens into where we're making reds. Because we could just pipe in... Oh, except we've already done it.
Right.
So yeah, the decision's been made.
Yeah. This is fantastic. And we can expand this if needed.
All right, well, that's one ingredient for the blue science.
Yeah.
Uh, Next ingredients are engine units, which we do
Mm-hmm.
sort of have set up somewhere,
Yeah.
but not to such a degree that...
Right here, Wes. Right here.
Yeah, we
But
don't want this to be our main production, and it's
oh yeah.
dead simple, just iron and steel.
Yeah. So we could replicate this anywhere, really.
Yeah. In fact, why
Hmm.
don't we do it just up here to the left of these solar panels,
Sure.
which we've got a lot of.
Speaking of which, well, we need iron though, right? So we need to split some of that off.
Yeah, so I'd leave it a few blocks and then get iron and steel.
Oh, you just want to make a new line. Okay. I was thinking to
Yeah.
steal steel off of this line, but we can just make a new area. Absolutely. Anybody been up to anything fun since the last stream? Anything exciting?
Ooh, certainly not me.
Really? Didn't you've been doing a bunch of schoolwork, right?
Yep.
Well, that's a blast.
End of the semester is tomorrow,
Hmm. Silence my
and
phone.
as much as that should always be a relief, instead it's always stressful.
Yeah. Well, you have finals and final projects and stuff
Yep.
like that. Yeah, Blue
So it
Tape
looks
is
like one of
wondering
our
what your finals are
major
like.
holdbacks at the moment is steel.
Yeah, for sure. It's
So
used
I
for a
know we
lot.
already... Yeah, I've got steel furnaces, so we can double this just by replacing these furnaces.
That's something, but we can easily scale it up in this direction as well. Blue Tape is wondering if you have final exams, Wes.
I do.
Do you enjoy exams?
No, though I do tend to be pretty good at them.
Well, then you ought to enjoy them.
If only it worked that way.
I love exams. I think they're fantastic.
All right, so this is going to be a pretty iron-hungry thing. So I am
Uh-huh.
actually going to extend the red part of our iron throughput up to here.
Yeah. I've got some belts. So if you switch that underground, I can do this.
There we go. And anytime you're doing red to extend like through things that are taking it off, you only have
Hmm.
to do halfway. Because by halfway, half the things are gone anyway, so you only need half the input for the rest.
That makes sense. Well, then I might as well switch them back to yellow because we'll need the red somewhere
Reds are
else.
pretty expensive.
Mom is wondering if I like giving exams or taking them. Definitely taking them is my preference. The problem with giving exams is then I have to grade them, and that's a pain in the butt. It's nice when I have a grader, but these days I'm on my own. But the reason I like taking exams is because they are so much shorter than homework problems, like assignments, right? And they're worth so much more. So it's just more efficient. You get more grade per minute in an exam, which I love.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Well, that's
so that's not
it's
what we've
definitely
made
more
here
steel.
is not, game breaking steel production, but I think it should get us through a while.
Do you want to just scale it up here a little bit more? Just a few more furnaces? Because that
We
belt
could
is
do.
not full. But,
Let's see. How long does a steel take? Let me look here.
well, it takes a long time.
Steel uses 5 iron in 16 seconds,
Blue Tape says, we
and
haven't
these
been up to
furnaces
anything
go at
fun lately.
double.
Just been working on the car, and you fixed an Xbox. Well, fixing an Xbox is kind of fun. I'll grant you that working on cars is not fun.
Mm,
Sorry, what were you
looking
saying,
forward to
Wes?
replacing the radiator soon, so I feel
Ooh,
you
yeah.
there.
What did you
Uh,
make for dinner, Blue Tape? All right, sorry, Wesley. I keep interrupting you. What were you saying?
oh, they made some BLTs.
Oh, tasty.
Did you
Hey,
use lots of mayonnaise?
we got our first tomatoes from our garden when we got home.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, there were a lot. The tomato plants are huge. One of them is as tall as me, and I mean it's like Christmas tree sized. It's crazy. I don't know what it is about our garden. The tomato plants just go crazy. Uh, so the other thing we need, Wes, is sulfur. How
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
how do you make it?
Uh,
Water and petroleum
sulfur,
gas.
yeah, and we got both of those right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then right after that, we're going to want to add more water and iron.
Okay, so we need an iron belt. Oh, we already have an iron belt coming down. We're way ahead of ourselves, Wesley.
You have any chemical plants on you?
Probably not. I
I'll
don't think
make a
so.
couple.
I can help make some though, if that would be
Let's see.
useful.
Let's look at ratios here so we don't do something silly.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1 second, uh, we make 2 sulfur in a plant.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1 second, we use, that right? 2 sulfur in a second? And then use 5 in a second? Okay.
Blue Tape is
So
wondering
in the
if your
long term,
radiator
we
is
could do something
leaking.
like, oh, say again?
Blue Tape is wondering if your radiator is leaking. It is, right? A little bit, or it's like
Yeah.
cracked or broken or something.
Yeah, so the radiator has various access ports, sort of, that
Mm-hmm.
hoses clamp onto to pump
Mm-hmm.
fluid in and out of it.
Yep.
And the main one that goes, I'm not sure if it's to or from the engine, um, that sort of port juts out for the hose to clamp onto. And there's a little divot in that jutting out part, which is what the clamp sort of cinches onto. So you put your pipe over the whole jutting out part and then cinch it onto the divot.
Mm-hmm.
And it has broken all the way around that divot. So at the moment, I just have it cinched onto the larger plastic pipe part without any kind of divot to hold it into place, just cinching on tight to hold on.
So it's a
Which
disaster waiting to happen. In other words.
Yes, did not consult a mechanic about that, but I don't think that's how you're supposed to make such a repair.
Indeed. Mom, you got
So I'm gonna.
your first tomato blossoms and they're tiny? What do you mean? A tiny blossom can make a big tomato, right? So you're working on that.
Mhm, mhm.
Hmm. I don't envy
I
you.
have a I have a 2008. It's it's old, but it's not that old.
Yeah. The plants are
You know,
tiny,
there are
I see.
people keeping cars from the 70s going.
So Wesley, uh this line right here has liquid petroleum or petroleum gas in it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And we want to combine that with water to make sulfur.
Yep. I'm figuring we probably want 7 chemical plants.
Okay. I've made
As a bit
2
of a
and I
future
can
proof.
make more. In fact, I can make 7. Have you crafted some already?
I've got 4.
Here, hand them to me.
Uh, let's see here. I can't remember how to. I've got your inventory open.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And I'll make one more.
All right. And you'll want to set that up so that 5 of them are making sulfur using water and petroleum gas,
Mm-hmm.
and 2 of them are making sulfuric acid using the sulfur you just made, and iron plates and water.
How do you mean? Because the science pack just takes a solid sulfur.
Oh, does it?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Well, in that case, change those ratios to something that makes more sense.
Well, we probably still need both of those, right?
Yeah, but the ratio I explained was for turning 100% of the sulfur into sulfuric acid.
Mm-hmm. Why don't we?
Oh, and also, uh, the refining is going to extend out this way and then go down.
Okay.
So this area bounded here, kind of earmark that for the refining
So
and try and do other stuff above.
what if I put the sulfur production like this?
Oh, it should just about. Actually, here, let me just nab this oil refinery
Oh,
so that I can actually.
Wesley, you can't
Wait.
just pick up an oil refinery willy nilly.
Okay, yeah, that will be the other edge of refining. So what you've got should be fine.
Okay. And we need to use the undergroundy type of pipes, which
Yep,
takes a bunch of
you got to use
lighter
those a lot.
aluminium. Yeah.
At some point, we want to research the better oil refining,
Yeah, that's a
but
great idea.
luckily, just with my experience, I can set up the pipes we'll need ahead of time.
Blue Tape is asking more about your car, Wes. I don't know if you have the chat open. Do you want me to read it to you?
Yes, the car you've said there is correct.
Mm-hmm. Old cars are more fun, don't you think, Wes?
I mean, yeah, if your main objective in having a car is the entertainment of repairs, um, I'd definitely say that's true.
Right, exactly. He's wondering if you've already purchased the radiator.
I have not. but they're not very expensive. So if he's wondering about clever ways to find one on a budget, probably just go with a new one for the simplicity of it.
All right. So to get petroleum, I need to break this pipe to ground and put in like a fork. Does a normal pipe just fork if you ask it to?
Yeah, and you can actually kind of do it in line. Like, let's say you want, uh, let's say you're going to do something like this over here, right? So that would feed them all with petroleum gas. You can
Uh-huh.
come over here where you want that to go underground. That's how it was over here already.
Yep.
And just put a little pop-up in the middle of its underground bit.
And then put a normal pipe here. Boom.
Yep. So that
And
that
here
lets you
and
kind of
here.
tap, in the simplest possible way, tap into an underground portion of pipe.
I see. And did these two connect already? Wow, they go far. Okay, cool. So I need some more normal pipes. So you've got some. And then the water will run like parallel to that? Like
Yeah.
popping up. No, not there. Yeah. Do you have to, yeah, these have direction. That's weird. So the pipes don't have direction, but the undergrounds do.
Yep. That's right.
Got it. Oh, I've broken the connection. How did I do that?
If you just go to place one and push R, it'll
There we
rotate
go.
to face the right way, and then it'll show once again.
Sure enough.
And I'll put your little pop-up for water here.
Got it. Haha.
All right. And these are fed with ingredients. And sulfur is a great ingredient to have, too.
Blue tape says they cost about $100.
It depends on who you get them from. You can get them from just online auto places for like 60.
Mm, not the worst. I had to replace
Yeah,
a catalytic converter once. Those are like $1,000. Pain in the butt.
guess that's why they're so famous for being stolen, eh?
Yep, makes sense. Have platinum and stuff in them. Precious metals. Hey, so sulfur is a solid, right? So we want belts coming out of these guys?
That's true.
And should we run their own belt up, like following along with the plastic? Or ride on the other side of this plastic belt?
So the thing to note is that most of this sulfur, or at least a pretty large portion of it, is going to go back into more chemical plants.
Okay.
Because we need a lot of sulfuric acid, which takes water and iron.
Mm-hmm.
And we do have water and iron up here. So yeah, we could do that.
Mm. Uh-huh. Oh. Oh, it is. Sorry. Say hi.
Hi.
Lissy's here.
Ah,
Mountain Dew. Delicious, sweet Mountain Dew.
My cup. Did you empty out all the ice?
Yeah, well, no, I stole it. Sorry, I thought it was my cup. They're too close in color. I can't tell them apart.
You should have gotten back.
Sorry.
It was the last ice that was left.
Sorry. It's delicious.
Finally, the kids are asleep.
Are they? But what about you? Blue Tape says hi to you.
Hi. I'm not a child.
You definitely 100% are.
I don't know.
Okay, run upstairs and go help Mom.
Where is
In her room, is she not?
Mom?
Go check. Love you. Hey, don't take my Mountain Dew. I need that.
You took my cup.
Sorry.
Love you.
My mom says thanks for the moose to you. She says no problem. Oh, she's coming back.
Drinking
Anyway,
Mountain Dew
I
this
just
late.
had little alphabet thing
Uh-huh.
that he got from kindergarten.
Uh-huh.
It had like all the ABCs, and for each letter there was a little animal that started with that letter, and there was a moose. And I was like, I should color it and send a picture to Grandma. So I did that.
That's fun. Okay, run upstairs. We have to build a factory. This is serious business.
Okay.
All right, Wes, sorry. What were you saying? Oh, we need to make a bunch of sulfuric acid, but we need some of this to run
Yeah.
up there, right?
Yeah. In fact, do we want to just how about that's
Yeah.
ridiculous, but
Well, you don't need that one. Ah, you do need that one. I broke it. Sorry. We. There we go.
I'm sure having those on a combined belt will not give us any kind of. What is sulfur used for?
Well, we need it for blue science. That's what we're trying to do.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, which means I guess we're actually pretty close to that.
Yeah, because we will need a belt of plastic and sulfur to make blue science.
I'm gonna
'Cause
go
then we
put
need
down a filter.
Then we need iron and copper,
Splitter.
which we already have, and the engine units, which we're working on up here.
I'm gonna
Blue Tape
follow
really
this
wants
plastic
to.
line and make sure that our plastic-only areas don't end up filled with sulfur. It seemed kind of fine. It should be
Yeah,
fine.
because the only thing we're using plastic for right now is the red science right here. I don't know.
Yeah.
We can switch it later if we need to. But for now, we can just take this
Now,
sulfur and plastic line and run it over to where we're making blue science.
engines are the last ingredient. They're pretty cheap, but they take a long time to assemble.
Right. So let's go to the mall.
I usually find it easiest to, in a lot of things like if you look at our green production,
Mhm.
we have a green circuit board assembling machine and a copper wire assembling machine on either side, so that you make the ingredients and the product just right there together.
Right.
I don't do that with engines because one assembling machine making the iron rods and one making the pipes or whatever it is
It's
enough to support 25 making the engines.
It's gears and pipes. Gears and
Yeah,
pipes.
gears and pipes. Which I think both take half a second.
Okay.
Let's see. Pipe is so 1 second of pipe and half a second of gear
Wesley.
will make it.
Blue Tape is talking to you in the chat. He wants to help you fix your car. You should take a look at what he's saying. Where are the assembly machines? Here we go.
The engine coolant place. Yes, I should order it before the fall semester. I'm not sure what an engine coolant place is, though.
Hi, Han.
Oh, yeah, where you can get rid of it.
All right.
I wonder what they do with it there. Anyway. So, our current bottleneck is quite unsurprisingly oil.
I'm not surprised to hear that.
So we really, pretty high on our priority list here is going to be advanced oiling processing, which only takes 30 of these chemical science packs. So actually, let me look at the ratios here. Okay. One engine requires a gear and 2 pipes. A gear is made in half a second. A pipe is made in 1 second. So it takes 2 seconds worth of pipe and only half a second worth of gear. So it might be worth, I don't know, maybe not making the ratios perfect, but maybe a second.
What do you need more of?
You're going to need more of pipes. You've also made a very clever contraption here that takes gears from the right side of the belt and puts them onto the right side of the belt.
You're right.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. There.
Oh, Wesley, help me. That's good that we want more pipes because we can just do more pipes here.
Yeah.
Blue Tape is
There
wondering
you
what we can do with lasers. Yes, thank you.
We can make laser turrets.
The cool thing about laser turrets is, so like if you look way out here, we have these gun turrets that are protecting this iron mining operation, but they have limited ammo, right? But a laser turret will just use electricity, so it can shoot forever as long as we provide it with electricity. It basically makes the power lines into an ammo transportation system. So that's cool. But you can also put get personal laser defense stuff, which I don't know how that works because I've never done it before, and laser spider drones and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. You can put lasers on a surprising number of things.
Which sounds great.
Let's see. Did we have somewhere that was making decent factories?
Assembling machines? Yeah, we have assembling machine 2s being made, yes.
Awesome.
Somewhere down there. I just grabbed a bunch.
So where is our science actually happening?
Oh, that's a good question.
Why the heck down there? Do we want to really spaghetti it up and take that belt of red and green science and bring it somewhere a little less crowded?
We could do that. Yeah. I think that's the right answer. Of course, we could just move this entire production to somewhere with more space that's closer to where the blue is going to be made, but that is no fun. We should instead spaghettify as much as possible.
Yes. Yes, that's true. Although it is worth noting that if we did move it, it would be a little bit simpler since we wouldn't have to make greens on site, green circuits. But yeah, I think we should leave it there and just dig up those researchy machines and move them somewhere else.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm digging them now.
I'm chuckling at our sad little local green circuit production that's used for science only. I like it. Okay, so you want this science belt. Do you want to just take it from here and run it up here along the bus, or should we run it below down here through here?
Oh yeah, what you said makes more sense.
Which one? I asked which one you would like.
To go below.
This one.
Let's see. Excuse me.
Careful. Bless you.
Okay, an underground won't quite reach. there. Or there.
You squeeze one right through here. Like we can. Oh no, you can't. You can walk through this gap, but it's not beltable. I see.
And there's no too wide gap anywhere in the middle where we could come up. Okay, I'm gonna fix it, and it's silly. But that's just
Well,
how it goes.
here's a thought. We have engine units being produced right here, but we're setting up much more robust engine unit production somewhere else, so we could just take this section out.
Don't
Or
worry
that.
about it.
Brilliant. Excellent work, Wesley. And then where do you want this? Where do you want to do our new research? Like over here?
Yeah. Should we do it here where these are electric poles are already set up?
Uh-huh. So let me bring these here. What in the world? I thought I had an underground, but it just disappeared from before mine eyes. Do you need 2 undergrounds to make the connection?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Well, I'll get some
I wonder
more.
how you ended up with just one.
I don't know. Maybe someone took them from my inventory.
Or there's a dangling underground somewhere.
That is possible. Can you connect one end that's red to one end that's yellow?
No. In fact, that's quite useful because it means that you can weave belts.
Like through like one line, you mean?
Yeah. You
Oh,
have the red go underground when the yellow comes up, and then the yellow go underground when the red comes up. And it leaves you with one kind of belt line with the 2 belts.
that's some like legendary spaghettification levels, right?
Yeah.
I thought so. Okay, so let's have all of these making engine units, since that's what they're here for. There we go. How do you copy the product of a assembling machine to another? Is it Control C, Control V?
Shift right click, shift left click.
Shift right, shift left. Yeah. Fantastic.
All right, and this is maybe a bit excessive for
Very
engines,
fast, Wesley.
but better excessive than not enough.
Uh-huh. So, oh, you want to do it on this side as well, I see. Okay. Let me
Yeah,
help with that.
that's where the excess comes.
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom.
I'm
We
sure
need...
all the mega basers look at this and say excessive.
Hey, if any mega base people watch this, don't watch, okay? Close your eyes. This will wound your soul.
Just listen to the sultry sound of our voices and don't
Yeah,
think about it.
just close your eyes. Don't even worry about it. Oh dear. It's like anything else, right, Wes? The gap between the best in the world and the average person is just staggering, right? And we're very average over here. Very casual in our approach to Factorio, I would say.
We're gonna get that rocket though.
Yes, we will. It'll just take us 10 times longer than it would take a professional Factorio player, or more. 20 times, 30 times. It's all good.
I'd say at this point, it's starting to look pretty inevitable. Like once we have chemical science, we can research most things.
Cool. Well, let's do it. So we have engine units coming in. Right now, they're all getting output to the same side of the belt. That probably is fine, right? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, because each one of these is making an engine every like 12 seconds. Yeah, so our total throughput of engine manufacturing here is less than 1 per second.
I kind of want to. Anyway, it's fine. Great. You know what we need over here is a light. Boom. And one down here too.
Okay, so these things all exist somewhere.
We need to
Sulfur,
pull them together.
red circuits, engines.
You know what I haven't checked on at all this stream is whether or not we're angering any biters. Probably not. I think we cleared them out pretty well. But let's check. Yeah, we're golden. Our oil field to the
Okay.
south is not producing any pollution at all. I assume because we're not consuming it very rapidly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We should check if our train is running.
Yeah, it's probably not running very often, right?
Yeah, it's running very, very slowly because we are using almost none of the oil it brings. Okay.
That's what I thought. Like you said, we need the advanced oil production, right?
Yes.
Do you think should we produce blue science with assembling factory 1 or 2? Probably 1, right? Because we get the engine units at such a slow rate that we just won't need that many of them, right?
Wait, say it again? I got
All
confused.
right. So we're gonna build the blue science packs, right?
Yeah.
And I was wondering if we should produce those out of assembling machine 1 or 2s. And then I decided probably 1s because they each take 2 engine units, which we're not getting very fast.
I was gonna go with 2 because that's a pretty long craft that's pretty important.
All right, that's fine.
And
So
I mean,
how
assembling
about
machine 2s are. Wait, they don't take an engine unit?
they do?
And an assembling machine 2?
No. The chemical science pack.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean. So you're saying we're going to be so limited by engines that we just don't need a lot of ability to make blues.
Right. But maybe if it's a really long craft,
I think we
that's
can be
fine.
more optimistic than that.
All right.
All right, I have created a belt of sulfur and reds.
Ooh, nice. Wow, that's really cool. How come it doesn't pick up the plastic right here? Hey,
Ah,
Phelps, how are you? Glad you made it.
this
Hey,
is an interesting little trick.
yeah.
This is intermediate Factorio knowledge.
Nice. I'm ready for it. What do you call a
You're
belt of
supposed to run a
watches? A
belt.
waste of time. Thanks, Blue Tape. Go ahead, Wesley. I'm listening.
You're supposed to run a belt directly into an underground belt like we have everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But if you zoom in real close,
Mm-hmm.
you can see that if you run it into the side,
Uh-huh.
the ones farther from the underground part can get onto the belt, but the closer ones just run into the covering.
This seems like an arbitrary decision that somebody made at some point on how this interaction
Yeah.
should work.
Yeah. My guess is it started out kind of as like an unintended thing,
Mm-hmm.
and
And then
they
everyone
eventually everyone
learned
was
it.
like worried, like, yeah, and started using it.
Right.
And I think they were like worried, like, oh no, they're so bug fixy in this game that they're probably gonna fix it. And so they added in a subtle, you wouldn't even notice it unless you knew where to look, visual indication that it's intentional now.
That's funny. Hey Phelps, did you what was the story with that cat? Did you guys keep it? There was an adventure with a kitten today, and I think it ended up at Phelps's house. Is that true? Oh dear. I should tell you the story, I guess. Teresa and the kids were at the park, and this cat was in a tree. A tiny little kitten was meowing and meowing and meowing. It couldn't get down. And so Felicity climbed the tree and saved the kitten, and I think it ended up at Phelps's house. Nicole took it home, and you are getting rid of it. Okay. Okay. We
Or
shall see.
kitten.
Yeah, he just wants to live. What am I after? I need belts. Where are we storing belts, Wesley? Here we go.
They're in the
But with
mall
a fight.
somewhere.
Yeah, well, I assumed it would be a fight, and I also assumed you would lose. so, so I'll be eager to see what the result is. I need some copper. There's still time. All right, I'll have faith in you. I'll give you the vote of confidence. Oh, and some iron plates as well. It was a cute cat. I saw the pictures.
Everyone needs more cats.
I think that's patently false, but
Everyone should have a couple of cats.
we have one cat, and that's sufficient, I think. No? Why not? Needs to be spaced? Fine.
I like to put the electric poles in between. You only need one electric pole for every other assembling machine instead of, I think it ends up to like 2 per assembling machine if you put
Fine.
them. I mean, it's definitely open to various preference.
It's fine. You ever played Opus Magnum, Wesley? Oh, you can put it in the backyard,
I've
Phelps.
heard the name.
Zula will be happy to see it. Oh dear. All right.
Oh my goodness, 24 seconds crafting time.
Yeah. Okay. You were right on the assembling machine twos for sure.
Okay. We're going all the way up here.
Yeah. Agreed. That's crazy. I'm not used to looking at the assembling time for these things. Obviously.
Mm.
I just think everything is fast, right? But that is not the case.
Yep.
But hey, Wesley, look, if you just take a look right here at this top lab, look what it's doing.
What is it doing?
It's blinking. Do you know why it's blinking? Because
Oh,
it's researching
doing
lasers.
research?
Yeah.
Great.
On lasers.
Of course, lasers research on its own literally does nothing, right?
Yes, but the point is that lasers are coming into our Factorio lives. That is the point. Yes, I know we'll need military research as well to do anything cool with it, but it's a start. It's a start, Wesley. It's exciting.
If we're going to do lasers, lasers are particularly bad with a coal-powered plant because they need rapid spikes in energy, which gives you the option of either make your coal power plant 10 times bigger than it needs to be, or we switch to solar.
Well, we've already switched to
solar. Sort of, during the day, mostly.
Well, we can switch harder. I had written down at the end of the last stream that we need accumulators. We didn't research that yet, did we? I don't think so.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, we should do that. Absolutely.
Oh, we did research accumulators. Okay, I'm gonna stop your lasers because
go ahead.
That actually that's a pretty hefty research and takes a long time, and we can spend that time setting up advanced boiler processing, which researches very quickly.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Do we need more labs, or is this a sufficient number for now?
I think that probably is going to use all the blues we're... Oh, wait.
It seems to take a long time to chew on one of those.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's fine.
We are definitely into the phase of Factorio where you gotta, every once in a while, go back and address a bottleneck that was fine when you made it.
Uh-huh. I see what you mean.
Like, depending on how this research goes, we might be over there in the red and green area
Mm-hmm.
trying to eke out a bit extra.
Yep. We could continue the jankiness and spaghettification by like increasing red and green research production down here and then merging it onto that belt. So
Honestly, I
we'll see.
think for greens, we can pretty easily make a bunch more.
Yeah, right up here. Or even
Well,
like
actually, I'm
belt
not
this
sure.
under
This
here and set up a second row. We have room.
we could probably get like 50% more greens.
Yeah. But
And
let's
as
see how
for
we do.
reds are easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right now they're pretty
5 seconds.
solidly backed up. So
Yeah, we could just extend this belt of gears and copper and just have it feed like another 4 assembling machines
yeah.
easily.
Blue Tape says, do you think
So
all the moving conveyor belts would act as a buffer if the power plant drops for a second or two? Um, like a turbine in a hydroelectric dam? I don't think they have momentum, but the belts don't
yeah,
require
they're
any power.
they're massless.
Yeah. But they don't require any power. So like if they were carrying something that was needed to like if they're carrying coal to the power plant, for example, it would still arrive there even if power dropped. So sort of. Haha. Well, cool, Wesley. We made sulfur and we moved it up here and started producing blue science. This is fantastic. And now our next thing, I guess, is to switch over to advanced oil processing, which we're almost done
Yep.
researching.
And then
So this
I
is
would
lovely.
suggest using that advanced oil processing and the additional materials we get to start making accumulators, the batteries.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other big thing that would be really cool to get into a little bit is modules.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Now
What is that?
you can go crazy with modules in the late game. Um, but modules kind of has a U-shaped usefulness curve where it's pretty useful for what it costs to get some basic modules.
Mm-hmm.
And then beyond that, it's only really useful if you have a gigantic factory because they get so expensive.
All right.
But I would suggest, I mean, we're going to need speed modules because that's what's used to make the next level of assembler.
Uh-huh.
But we're also pretty quick here going to want to switch to electric furnaces.
Mm-hmm. And those want efficiency, right?
Yes, you can just throw a couple of efficiency modules in there to reduce their power consumption by like what 60-80% or something.
That sounds fantastic. I'm hearing you.
It
So
might just be 40%. Anyway, 40% reduced energy consumption, like 60% reduced. Oh, it doesn't say it reduces pollution, but reducing the energy consumption does reduce the pollution.
sure, sure.
The point is, we can just make a whole bunch of efficiency 1 modules and just kind of throw them in everything, and it will keep our pollution clouds very small.
I like it. Let's do it. I also just completed the research for the military science pack. So if you want to set some of that up at some point, we could work on that. But yeah, so like batteries and accumulators and efficiency, let's do it. That sounds great.
All right, should we start working on batteries then?
Yes, but don't we need to switch over to advanced oil processing first?
Yeah, that's part and parcel.
But yes, let's do all those things. Hey, thanks, Blue Tape. It's a Flaming Gorge shirt. Love Flaming Gorge. A
I'm just gonna
lot.
throw a bunch of my excess wood in
A
the
lot. Thank you.
ship.
Oh, it has a. Oh, it does have an inventory. That's fantastic. The ship is a chest. I had no idea. An iron plate and
the
diamonds?
little museum.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, Wesley.
I've actually
Advanced
seen
oil
strange
processing.
playthroughs where they make heavy use of the fact that the ship is a chest
Really?
because the ship is giant. So you can have like an inserter insert over here and another inserter insert out over here, and it
Mm-hmm.
just transits that distance instantly.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, Blue Tape says, "Is that light working on the ship? You mean this like glowy thing? Yeah, it seems like some sort of yeah, looks like it. Indeed. Speaking of lights, we don't have any lights over here. Okay, teach me about advanced oil processing, Wes. How do we do it?
All right. So, change the recipe on one of these. Here, open up this one and change the recipe.
Change the recipe. I forgot. Oh, here. Yes. Okay. Yes. Advanced oil processing. Oh dear. Yes. Makes heavy and light
Oh,
oil and petroleum gas.
this was actually set up wrong here. So we were only getting half of our petroleum gas. Whoops.
That's okay. Okay. I clicked it.
Okay.
Yes. Hey,
So
modules is done.
it needs
Speed
water.
module, productivity, efficiency. Yes.
So why we have water right here.
Uh-huh.
That's thinking ahead.
Indeed.
And it produces 3 items.
Yes.
Heavy
So the
oil,
petroleum gas is going where it was going before.
light oil, and petroleum gas.
Hmm.
Which is why we have these 3 pipes here.
Hmm. Yep. Wait, this one has petroleum in it, which seems not right. Oh. Oh, Wesley.
Oh, yeah. How did petroleum get in there? That's weird.
It's because it was connected to this. Right here.
Cool. Yeah, that needs to connect. Oh, hang on a second.
Hanging on.
They have to be offset by 1. Shoot. Okay, so I'm going to destroy this refinery
No problem.
and rebuild it, not directly facing, because that'll make, we just saw the, did the whole pipe go away? I did. I made the whole pipe go away. It'll make the pipes interfere with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go down by 1 and extend. Okay,
Wesley,
there we go.
pause for 1 second.
Yep.
We just finished researching the efficiency module. Do you want the speed or productivity modules as well while we're at it?
Let's see. So we finished efficiency. Well, we'll probably need speed. Yeah,
All right. Okay.
that is a good speed 1 module is a good get out of jail free card. When you have like, one of your assembler machines is bottlenecking
Mm-hmm.
like Your other one, you can just throw a couple of speed modules in there.
Right. This is cool, Wesley, but very complicated. So this heavy oil is connected here and here to each factory. The light oil here and here. Petroleum here and here. Okay. I get it.
Yeah.
I see it.
So you basically want to think of this middle bit as like a main bus,
For oil stuff.
which will extend all the way down. Except we will be putting brakes in it because otherwise you can't get anywhere in your factory. You down?
Now, a question. If the refinery backs up on any of the products, does it stop making the other things? Probably yes, right?
Yes.
So you need to... Go ahead.
Which is why we need some chemical plants.
Because we need to consume all three of these products at almost identical rates, right? Because even putting storage on the lines, it'll fill up eventually, right?
Yes. But there's a way to kind of work around that because you can turn one into the other.
Okay. I see.
For example, this is probably not a good place to put it permanently.
Yeah.
This machine will take light oil and water and turn it into petroleum gas.
Gotcha.
Or if I change the recipe, it will turn heavy oil and water into light oil.
Cool. And it can make
batteries. Yeah.
Sweet.
And you may also notice that we can make solid fuel out of any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So that is if you don't want to think about it, you can just put a big tank at the end of each of these, and next time it blocks up, you just see which tank is full and have it turn it all into solid fuel.
Okay. That's cool. I assume we need solid fuel for stuff later, right?
Yeah, I think you need it eventually. Let me see. What do you need
something?
It for? That's when you're using that is when you're getting pretty close to the rocket. Rocket fuel.
Wesley, I just started researching modular armor because I noticed that it's a prerequisite for night vision equipment, which I think will make it less dark at night, which sounds nice.
Yeah, and we can make the modular armor.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very... I mean, it's only blue and red and green research, so it doesn't seem too crazy. Although I see that powered armor just takes red, green, and blue, which we now have access to. So maybe we should do that.
It also takes electric engines and blue circuits, which are both big old things that we don't make yet.
we can chill on that and just do modular armor for now. But that sounds cool. Okay, so what do we need next? How can I help?
Let me think here. Oh, actually, we can research rocket fuel right now. Which rocket fuel is kind of cool, especially if you put it in a car.
Indeed.
Or more realistically, since you're making the module armor and you want night vision, I actually will say I think the night vision will be disappointing.
Oh, all right. I'll just keep putting lights everywhere.
It doesn't make things lighter at night. It just makes them dark green instead of just dark.
Ah, okay. Well, I'll just keep putting lamps everywhere. It's fine. Okay. So...
but we can definitely get that modular armor going, because that's, much better armor. And I wonder if the modular armor can fit an exoskeleton. Oh, we can't make that yet anyway.
All right, we'll get to it. We'll get there.
Oh, so many options though.
Portable solar panel. Energy shield equipment. Hey, the personal roboport only takes red, green, and blue. Not that we know how to make robots yet.
Mhm.
Hmm. All right. Anyway.
We could use this heavy oil to start making some lubricant.
Uh,
That is
sure. What is
used
that
for
for?
that's used for electric engines, which go into all of your like modular equipment stuff, and also the flying robots.
Ah, okay. You've
Lubricant is
convinced me.
also used for logistics 3, which is fastest belts.
Sweet. Yeah. So, I just started lubricant, which leads into electric engine, like you said. I'm just following the lines here, which goes into robotics. All of these take red, green, and blue, which we now have. Oh, sweet. Okay.
But what
But
I think we should be doing down here,
mhm, is
actually, before anything else, I'm just going to make a little storage area. You want to make a bunch of tanks?
yes, I do.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
make like 6 tanks. I'll make
Okay.
6 as well.
I only have the ingredients to make two, but I can go grab
But
more iron
nah,
and do that. We have iron coming down here, so well, we okay. Now I can make more. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay, I made 6 tanks. The pipes are much harder to navigate, like you said.
yeah, it's pretty annoying to get anywhere down here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, where do you want my tanks? I've got them now.
Uh, let's just. Was there even going to be? Gonna have to expand this out a little bit. They won't fit too close together.
No problem.
All right, this is terrible form, I'm sure,
It probably
but
is.
here, just throw down a few tanks, and that way, while we figure out what the heck we're doing, we won't be wasting any production.
I like it. It's true to form, Wesley. It's true to form.
Yeah,
Oh, I have some more. No, I don't. Okay. Good. Excellent. Okay. Now,
yeah. Seems
we're
like our
working
production
towards
over here is pretty slow.
yeah, on what?
Oh yeah, because we are still struggling super bad for petroleum gas.
Mm-hmm. So let's look here.
Okay,
So
even though I
the
said this is a terrible place and not permanent, I am going to throw down one factory that turns light oil into petroleum gas here.
okay, I think that's fine. Um, we probably only want to do advanced oil processing, right? Like we
Yes.
don't want to devote a couple to basic oil processing because you get the same amount of petroleum out either way, or actually, well, you get a little more with advanced oil processing, and you don't get
Yeah.
the other products either. So, okay,
Yeah.
go for
With
it.
the advanced, uh, you you just get a lot more of everything. You get more petroleum gas, and then you get other products that you can turn into petroleum gas,
Mm-hmm.
like 45 light oil, which would become like an additional 30 petroleum gas,
Right.
and 25 heavy oil, which would become like 20, like another 15. Anyway, so you would get a lot of. It's good.
Gotcha. So like you were saying before, we also need sulfuric acid, right?
Yes.
This oil production stuff is getting a little crazy.
Okay, so I made one little chemical plant that will turn some of that light oil into petroleum gas.
Sounds good. Because like you
Oh,
said, our
and one of our
sulfur
refineries
production
was
is really
turned
slow.
off.
Was it?
Yeah.
Why?
Okay. So that should be a pretty good upgrade to how much we're getting.
Okay. You can still see that the contents of the pipe are flickering, which I assume means that we're consuming it faster than we're producing it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, unsurprisingly, the real solution here is we have 2 refineries.
Mhm.
We wouldn't have any problem if we had 10 refineries.
Right. Should we make 10 refineries? I think we can do that.
Yeah, a little bit of future proofing.
Yeah. Well, I have
Let me see how
the
I can make
ingredients to make
5.
3. So well, there you
You
go.
can
That's
make
8.
3.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah. That'll take a while. Was that
Mm-hmm.
robotics just finished?
Yes, it did.
Got any plans for it?
Not really. I'm just excited, and we could do it.
Yeah, we just need batteries and electric
Mhm.
engine units.
Indeed. I
Sounds
assume
like batteries is really what we need, and the research is done. We just need to build them.
right, which requires jeez, sulfuric acid, which requires more petroleum gas because we're not even producing enough sulfur for what we're currently using. Let alone to make a bunch of sulfuric acid, which I can't say for some reason. I am curious. Well, I guess the sulfur is slowly backing up here, but not at a crazy rate. So maybe we're producing it barely faster than we need it.
Yeah,
But I assume we'll want more to make acid.
yeah, we are definitely, even with just 3 chemical plants making the sulfur,
Mm-hmm.
uh, they're spending most of their time just waiting for petroleum gas.
Yep. All right. Well, I
How
have
well did
crafted
we do?
on what?
I can't really tell how well we did with our oil field down there. So I'm
Mm,
actually going to hop on this train and take a field trip. Do you want to come?
oh, yeah. Yes, I do. But I'm noticing that. Can I ride in the car? Isn't that what we discovered? Is that? Am I crazy? Yeah, I can. Go ahead.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh, we didn't put a radar down
Oh,
there. We should do that.
yeah, that's actually got one right here.
Perfect.
Here we go. How are things looking down here? Good, good. Probably should put another tank there. I think the tank holds the same as a 2 fluid wagon as 1 fluid wagon, but since we're using 2 fluid wagons, we should have 2 tanks. You have
Makes
any
sense to
steel?
me. I doubt it because I
You have
have 10.
2. Wait. Okay, I'm gonna take some of it
Go ahead.
so I can make this 1 tank before we leave.
No worries. The train left us here, by the way.
I'll call it back.
I've got an engine. Oh, but only one
Whoop.
of us can ride on it, huh? Yeah, go ahead, call it back.
Yeah. There's also the danger of a crash.
True. Although I think that other train is pretty much just chilling at the unloading station for long periods of time. Oh, sorry. I'm
All
coming back.
right, hop on.
Oh. Okay, I'm just sort of researching stuff willy-nilly. Is there anything in particular that you would that would be useful?
Advanced chemical processing is another huge one, and we actually have the resources to start using it.
I don't
Advanced
see
material
it.
processing, rather. It's the electric furnaces,
Advanced
and that
material
is
process.
another.
Oh,
Like, we've got so many things right now that we don't need. That we like. We've just researched so many useful things that we now need to implement.
right. Okay.
And yeah, getting more oil processing is one of them.
So we made some refineries. I've got 3 of them somewhere. Here they are. How far spaced vertically do they need to be?
I would just put like a couple of spaces between them.
All right.
That leaves room for like a large electric pole or whatever else.
And they do need to be offset, right? So like this one needs to go up by 1. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. All right, how much pipe do you have?
I made some. Probably not the amount that you're looking for. But take whatever is in my inventory. 23? Not
Oh
very
man,
much.
this offset with only 2 spaces between them
Is it too close?
doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't quite leave enough for an underground. So we should probably do it with 3 spaces between them.
No
Or
problem.
actually, you know what? Let's go with 4.
You got it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
I was just saying the other day, right? This game is so much easier when you just use all the space.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, got it. All right.
Okay,
So
let me set this up with the underground.
yeah. So these top ones all connect to this line. Like this.
Well, let me just set one up and then I'll do the whole copy and paste.
Okay.
Okay, okay. That looks
Hold on.
right.
That's not right.
What's not right?
Yeah, right here. Because this bottom one produces petroleum gas. So this one
Yes.
wants to
Good eye.
connect here. Yes, there. I'm just looking at the ones up here, which are working. So yeah.
Alright. In that case, I will copy it.
Ho ho. Yeah, nice. Okay. So now I can place things in these spots, right?
And I am out of underground pipes, so I'm gonna run back up to the mall. Do you need
Right.
anything?
I'm close to being out of underground pipes myself, so just I don't know, grab all of them. And I also don't have any normal pipes, so oh.
Alright.
How do you copy and paste blueprints like that? Is that Control C, Control V?
It is.
I see. That is extremely cool. Yeah, I don't think I have anything. Yep. All right, bring lots of pipes, Wes. And I will work on copying the recipe into these guys. Can't reach.
Oh, I'm just about back and just realized I probably should have picked up more electric poles while I was up there. Oh well.
Yeah, I'll go do that while you work on these.
Oh, here, let me give you the pipe.
Oh, then in that case, I'll work on the pipes. Thank you. Hmm. you want these connected with an underground right here, right? And here. Oh, that's sort of a problem, actually. How are we going to connect these two, Wes?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, see what you can do with that, and I'll work on these here.
Okay, I'm going to make it ugly.
I expected nothing less.
How about that?
Let me see.
It's annoying, but you can get through.
No, it works for me. I haven't, and we're gonna basically have to replicate that at each of these intersections.
Nah, we're fine because we left a
Oh.
little extra room.
Ah, indeed. Fantastic.
That's why I changed my mind about the spacing.
I see. Okay, let me place more of these connectors here. Yep. Haha. Well, there you have it. We are definitely producing a lot more petroleum now than we were, and lo and behold, the sulfur is backed up all the way down to here. Just in the time that it took to set it up. And the
Well, of
plastic as
course,
well.
none of these are running yet because we haven't put any
You're
oil
right.
in them.
You're right. Then in that case, we're just producing more sulfur than I thought, which is still fine.
Yeah.
And okay, so you're hooking up the oil. I can try to work on the water. Oh, you've got all the blueprints already placed. Fantastic. Let me help.
Oh, and I guess when you get to the bottom one, you don't need any underground.
Fair enough.
Coming out. Okay, now all the ones on this side are producing.
That's good. That is good.
Next up.
Okay.
Oh, that reaches. Okay, and then that should be able to copy and paste. It's like a little puzzle game setting these up.
Well, it is literally a puzzle game, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I asked a minute ago, but have you played Opus Magnum?
No, I haven't.
It's a pretty cool game. It's basically like it's a visual programming puzzle game is what it is.
Oh yeah.
So you have little like grabbers. So the idea of the game is that you pick up like molecules and then fuse them together, or well, you pick up atoms and fuse them together to make molecules to produce stuff. So like you'll pick up like carbon and oxygen and hydrogen and fuse them in long chains to make oil. But you do it like one atom at a time with these little grabbers, and you have to program the grabbers to like rotate certain degrees, pick up an item, rotate it back, fuse it to this other one. Anyway, so it's a programming game, really. But it reminds me of this in some ways. We're not programming per se, like what the machine, like telling the machine how to work, but the factory as a whole essentially is that, right? We're pretty much writing a program that makes stuff.
And it's working.
Yeah.
I love that cool. in programming and in games. I love that where you're like, oh, this janky jank after janky jank, and like, what a pile of crap. And then at some point, you're like, okay, now what's the next thing to fix? And you're like, well, I already did this, I already did this. Take a step back, and you're like, hold on a second, the whole thing's just working.
Yeah.
And that
it's cool.
moment is quite nice.
It is cool. It looks like we are now. Is there a limit to how much the pipes can carry?
Yes, but we shouldn't be bumping against that.
Well, these lower oil refineries aren't working,
Oh,
and I'm not sure why. They have everything they need.
they're missing the pipe to underground. At least this
Oh.
one was missing pipe to underground for its petroleum gas.
Ah.
Don't know about this one. Because this should be piped underground. Nice.
You've done it. There you go.
Little missing pipe connections. That's what all it was.
Yep. Now they all have fires on them. And are therefore
Nice.
working. Cool. Wesley,
I
we're
expected
producing.
our pollution cloud would be huge after that, but it seems kind of fine.
Yeah. The oil field is cloudy at the moment. I assume it's because we're picking up more oil than we were. And I think that's the next biter group we'll have to fight is the one down by the uranium over there.
Yeah. We could do nuclear power.
Yeah, that sounds great. We finished advanced material processing 2.
Ooh, that's very exciting.
Yeah, what should we do next?
Well, before we start switching things to electric furnaces, we'd better make sure our electric grid has got a lot of headroom, which it currently does during the day.
Mm-hmm.
So, sounds like batteries are
Yes,
the next thing on the list.
that sounds fantastic because you need them for everything, right? Like everything beyond here needs batteries.
Yep. So they just
Sweet.
take copper, iron, and sulfuric acid, which is just sulfur and iron and water.
Okay. So we have sulfur and iron and
Let
copper.
us make a... Here, we can actually split this off really easily. Have sulfur right where we need it.
Indeed. That's
So
very
we have
clever.
everything we need to make batteries right here, because the water is right here.
Ah,
This
brilliant.
is
So,
batteries land.
oh, they're made in a chemical plant, not a assembling machine.
Yep. So
Okay.
let's see, what kind of ratio do we need here? Okay, so battery takes 20 sulfuric acid in 4 seconds. Sulfuric acid, 50, is made in 1 second. Okay, so one of these can probably support like 4 battery factories, which is probably, you think 4 battery factories is a good starter?
Sure. I mean, making them at all is a good start, and then we can
Okay, so if
adjust
we do
as
4
needed.
battery factories, that should be able to be supported. Wait, hang on a second. 4 seconds. This is 20.
By one sulfuric acid plant?
Yes. And one sulfuric acid plant requires 5 sulfur per second,
Mm-hmm.
and sulfur is made 2 per second. So 2.5, I say we go generous and say 3 sulfur plants. Oh, we already have 3 sulfur plants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
And
So
we can make
yeah,
more if we need to.
two sulfuric acid plants into 4 battery plants, and they're all chemical plants.
Okay. So here is 2 sulfuric acid plants.
All right, we want to line them up here where we've got
Yes.
all the ingredients.
Yes. Sorry, I kind of like to place them down so that I can see where I need to get things to, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Do you want them facing this way or that way?
This way, so we can get the water in.
Okay. So we want pipes like this and this, right?
Only one needs water.
Oh, okay.
It's just
Well,
giving you options about where to put it.
that's fine. Let's see. And then these connect like this and this. And this.
You probably don't want to do that. I've run into this problem before. It takes too much space on the back if you try and do the vertical undergrounding right in place, because it doesn't
Oh.
leave you enough room for the
Oh.
inserters.
I see what you're doing.
That's why I'm just getting right out of there and then doing all the jank back here with the water
I see.
pipes.
That makes a lot of sense.
All right.
Okay. And then we need long-handled inserters and short-handled inserters. Right?
Yep.
Ta-da? Ta-da.
Yep.
And sulfuric acid is a liquid, yeah? Yeah.
Yep. Here we go. Sulfuric acid.
Cool.
We'll need more of this later for not science, blue circuit boards, which are very expensive. Blue circuit
Okay.
boards are, every one of them is a little treasure.
Okay.
But since we're quite a ways away from that, we don't have to worry about getting sulfuric acid anywhere.
Okay, no problem.
It's also worth noting that they don't use, the blue circuit boards don't use a lot of sulfuric acid. But for now, we were going for batteries, yes?
Right, which are also made in chemical plants. And I think
we were
you
gonna
said
do
we were doing
4?
4? I have 4
Yeah.
of them.
Oh, nice. They don't need water, do they?
No.
Oh, yeah. So
So
you
we
can
want
just
them
have
to
them
line up
face
with
the other
this
way.
pipe, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this?
Yep.
How's that? Ah, you are so fast with these pipes. Oh.
Nice. This is looking great.
Do we want these one closer to this belt or just use long-handled inserters?
Don't forget, we also need to get out. So, I mean, we can get them out on either side. But
Well,
if
we
we do
could
it
just
this way, we could just have the
insert,
output pipe.
yeah,
Here.
insert long-handled and then output short-handled. I don't have any more long-handled ones though, so if you've got any, feel free. And then none of these are
Why
connected.
does nothing over here have power?
It's just not connected at all.
There we go.
There you go. Haha! Batteries! We're actually making batteries.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
It is. See, it's so helpful for me to like see how everything is working. Because it's like you said before, now if something's bottlenecked, we can go find where that thing is made and just make more of it, right? But all of
Yeah.
the components exist and are being produced somewhere so I can like visually trace it. I don't know. It's helpful to me.
Yeah, and a trickle of something is so much better than none of it.
Mm-hmm. So now that we have these, we can start getting into accumulators and like really doing solar power, right?
Yes. In fact, we can get into accumulators right now, right here. They just take iron. You just keep this going here.
Oh, Wesley. Flying robot frames are now on the table, except that we need lubricant. But we have
Which is
everything else.
actually quite easy to make. I'm going to run back to the mall and get some more electric poles and
Let,
downright out of them. And just
let,
steel, too.
let me come with you. I'm out of long-handled inserters, which you just end up needing a bunch of, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Let's see if I'm actually going to put back some of my pipe because I don't need that much anymore. Back up these. Let's see, I should check on other things while we're here. I could use a bit more in long-handed inserters.
Ninja Alpaca's asking what stage
Did
we're at in the game. I don't even know how to answer that. I think we're further than I've ever been, but I don't know
Yeah, I think
what percentage of the game that
we're
is.
we're in the filling out the mid game, and soon we're going to be planning the late game.
That 10% General
And
Arrow. Hey, welcome General Arrow, by
that
the way.
is
How
with
are you?
the assumption that launching the rocket is the end.
That is the assumption. Okay, we're gonna
we're
beat the
not we're
game.
not going for that like 1 or 2 rockets per minute super base.
Maybe someday. First, I mean, at this point, like everything we just did with the oil processing was a complete learning experience for me. So if you want to get to the point where we're planning super mega ultra late game stuff, we'll do a couple of runs before we get to that point. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And what I want to do when we finish this run is start a Bob's Mods run,
Mm.
which was
Uh
one of the first big mod packs and was kind of like really popular back then and just kind
mhm.
of has been overwritten and forgotten by newer mod packs, but I think it has a certain charm that I love. Like a certain simplicity where it's just like, hey, you like that? Just do it more so and just break the game. Like just upgrade your yellow belts into red belts, into green belts, into purple belts, into until it's just like
Silly.
30 yellow belts worth of throughput on one belt.
Indeed. Oh, Iro is watching some women's breaking. That's sick. I love it. The B girls are breaking. That's breakdancing, Wesley, for the uninitiated. It's in the
Uh,
Olympics, you know.
I will upgrade my cultural awareness post
Yep.
haste.
Yep. Are these all for accumulators, by the way?
Yeah, yes. I'll delete some of them after.
Why?
Well, because this is accumulators don't take 30 seconds to make.
You never know. You never
This
know.
is just gonna be a lot. Our little half belt of iron is gonna go. What?
All right. Well, I'm sure it'll back up soon, right? Oh, it's missing the batteries. We need to do this. There you go.
We'll see. We'll see what the bottleneck is. Probably we'll let it run for a couple of minutes and see how far the batteries are getting, and then just delete everything past that.
Sure. Ninja Alpaca says that she had a gym teacher that could break dance, and he showed the class, which was cool. you think breakdancing is cool, Wes?
It's one of those things where someone who's really good at breakdancing, like it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of it's my personal opinion.
Oh, Wesley, your internet is struggling, I think. I lost your audio and the server was stopped responding at the same time. Are you there? You are not there. I think maybe my internet is struggling. That would be sad.
Okay, hopefully I'm here voice wise.
You are. I hear you.
Can you hear? Okay, I turned the Wi-Fi off on my phone.
Ah, did your Wi-Fi go down? Well, it must not have because the server's responding now.
I think it did hiccup though.
Yeah, no worries. Do you want me to block off this chest so it doesn't make like 10,000 accumulators?
Let's see. You get 50 in a stack. We probably want 500. So yeah, a little bit. There we go.
Okay, just 500 accumulators. It's no big deal.
Yeah, as you can see, we can already observe that the batteries are not getting past this one.
Mm-hmm.
So just to save resources, I will get rid of these.
All right. But still, this is fantastic. We're now automatically producing on fairly sustainable resource lines, right? Accumulators and solar panels, which is so cool. Oh, we need some lights over here. It's too dark.
And we
Yes,
could
Iro, it is sweet.
we're in an interesting situation where I don't think there's one particular bottleneck either.
Yeah, we'll probably identify some over time, right? But yeah,
I
it's
think actually
go
I
ahead.
think I do see what it is, though it isn't causing issue yet. And it is oil.
Like actual oil input?
Yeah,
No way.
which
I'm surprised by that.
I'm not too surprised by it because we do have one quite small oil field as our entire input.
Uh-huh.
We do have another oil field just down and to the left
Yeah,
that's twice as big.
it wouldn't be crazy to just have like 3 stops on this train line, right?
Yeah, I would do 3 different trains.
No, we could do that too. I mean, look, we could run a train line. Look, we could just start a completely separate loop on this end, right? And have a second train run from here down to the new oil field and just plug it into the same oil pipeline and have it all get processed in the center. Yeah?
Let's see, we're doing mono-directional trains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let me actually.
Hmm. Ninja Alpaca is
Normally,
wondering how you mine oil. I'll show you. I'll show you. Go ahead, Wes.
normally at this point, where you're starting looking at multiple trains, is when you split this out to have 2 lanes.
And then
Whatever.
just well, we can do that. And then just have like one train responsible for each oil field or something like that.
Yeah, that's kind of the plan. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put 2 uh, rain rail chains signals here.
Okay. So Ninja Alpaca.
So
This is where the
you'll
oil is
notice.
getting mined. 1 second, Wes. These
Here we
pump
go. Yeah.
jacks are pulling it out of the ground. And then it's going into this pipe, and this pipe goes into these tanks, and also fills up this train right here. And the train has 2 oil cars, which it then pulls up into the base over here. And this is where the oil all gets processed. It's very complicated. It would have taken me 100 years to figure this out by myself, but Wesley's teaching me, so yeah.
Man, you can really And I have dedicated hundreds of hours into this game, and some
Mm-hmm.
people have dedicated thousands.
Oh, for sure.
Let me show you what I'm doing with this junction, though.
Yeah.
So the
Let
train will come
me
along,
hold a signal so I can see. Okay, go ahead.
and it will come to this junction where it goes from, I hope it coordinates the colors between our clients,
This
where it
is
goes
yellow
from
right
this
here.
yellow,
Yep.
yeah, into this blue,
Dark blue. Yep.
is a chain signal. So instead of
Mm-hmm.
just telling the train, oh, you can go if the blue is empty, it will say only you can go if the exit to the blue, which if you zoom in on the map, you can see is the light blue waiting chunk
Mm-hmm.
for the next stop.
Yes.
This light here will only let it pass from yellow to dark blue if it's free to pass from dark blue to light blue,
Okay.
which prevents any gridlock where like the train comes from yellow and says, "Oh, dark blue is clear," and enters it, and then it can't get into light blue because it's occupied, and light blue can't get into purple because it's occupied, and purple can't get out because it's waiting for dark blue to get into light blue, and
Got it.
you have gridlock. So that's why
So
you use chain signals. Is you're
I
like,
see.
oh, you could cause gridlock in this next block,
So
so don't even
basically,
enter this next block unless you can definitely leave it.
right. So you use that for choke points. Like, don't go into the
Yep.
choke point unless there's a way out.
Yep.
Ninja Alpaca is wondering how you tell where oil is to mine it. And it's on the map here. So you can see these purple dots. That's where the pump jacks are sitting in this space. You see? If I switch like that. And then we have more down here. So that's what we're talking about right now, is forking off of this railroad to send a train down here to collect this oil as well, which will double our oil production, because right now we have 5 pump jacks working over here, which says the crude oil combined yield is 463%. And down here, we would get a combined oil yield of 843%. Yeah, the map is crazy, Iro. It's the factory is getting more complicated every session. But we made some fantastic progress so far today in getting batteries.
And
It's very exciting.
just for the heck of it, since we don't have enough time to really start anything else major,
Yeah, you got to keep up, Iro. Yes, Wesley, I'm listening.
let's double lane this. So you can see some of how that works.
Okay.
Just
Do you
like
have a bunch of
try.
tracks on you, or should I go grab some?
I've got enough, a couple
Okay.
hundred.
Teach me.
Okay. I always like to space my lanes just such that you could do an easy transfer like that if you had to. And I guess we'll have a hole in the wall in a second.
Sure. Well, if it only needs to be, can I just do this? Yeah.
Hmm.
There were actually 4 gates placed here, so I just took 2 of them.
Oh, nice.
Because you only need 2 to cover it. Ah!
All right. So we're going to make a complicated junction.
Mm-hmm.
And if you'd like, you can do a little challenge here and
Okay.
what would you call it? Put the lights on.
Well, you probably want me to use chain signals, right? I don't have any. Let me see if I can make some. Or do we not need them now? I can make some.
I don't know.
Bah.
See,
Okay.
it's tricky because this is a two-way rail. This is one way, and this is one way.
Right. Okay. What? Oh, I made one. I wanted to hold one. So
And just because it's going to bug me, I'm actually going to I'm going to redo this to be a bit more symmetrical.
okay.
Without making a huge mess, I hope.
We'll see about that.
Oh, there. Isn't that so much more beautiful? Look at it.
Yes, it is.
Look at that.
Okay, so I assume that we don't want it to enter this lane unless it can exit, like you were saying before, right?
Unless it
So
can
what we
make it to that.
want,
Wait.
what we want is a chain signal here, right?
Oh,
But how do I link that chain signal?
yes, but not quite for the reason you think.
Okay.
A good thing to think here, I'm going to use these as for drawing a line,
Okay, thank you.
is that this
That's fantastic, Wesley. Thank you.
should be its own thing.
Yeah.
So you should have signals anytime anyone's entering or leaving this junction.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right to have a chain signal here because you do not want this guy entering this junction unless he can get out.
Right. But so I want
But then
that chain signal
you also need another signal
here.
to like say, oh, this is the end of the intersection.
Like here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then the same thing here, because he could be exiting in either direction, right?
Yep.
So he could come from here and go this way or that way.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then I guess the same thing here, right?
Yes. But that is actually an exit signal, right? Because we're going on the right here.
Oh, yes.
So that one doesn't need to be chained because
It
the
needs to
block
be
it's going into is just a straight section of track that no one else needs to get into.
Got it. So just a plain signal.
Yep.
Ah. So that one will go to red because it was occupied.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And so
please.
these two are good because it's a one-way track. It only needs one signal.
Mm-hmm.
And here, because it's only one-way track, it only needs the one signal. These two need a bit more because it's two ways. It needs a signal when it's going this way through that bit and a signal for when it's going this way through that bit.
So just on this side like that?
Yep.
And same thing here?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
All right. So this is perfect, but it does bring to light kind of another issue.
I'm listening.
So you used a chain signal going this way
Mm-hmm.
for the same reason we talked about before. You don't want to cause gridlock up there.
Right.
But then you've got this other chain signal that's waiting on that chain signal. And like when you start chaining up a bunch of chain signals, it's true that that's good, but also you kind of you solve the problem, but you grow the problem a little bit. Because what if this train is like stuck here and it doesn't want to enter the block, even though the block is free, because it doesn't want to go to the next one because it can't get all the way to the waiting block all the way down the train.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's another train right just behind it that would really like to get past it because it's just going to go the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't want to have to wait for all that.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where you can get a very simple solution that kind of will not, I mean, it's impossible to completely eliminate that kind of stuff, but really mitigate it by just putting a little something like that, which is just a little aside where a train can, if a train's way up here and it's like, I can't get to that waiting block by the oil refinery, well, I can at least get here off to the side and wait.
And you probably want a normal signal here.
Yeah. In fact, let me move it down a little bit, though, because it's good practice whenever you've got like one trainy thing and another trainy thing to leave enough room for one full train between them. We'll start it here instead. And go in there.
Okay. So we want a normal signal here, right?
Yep.
Because this is just its
Because we want
own
them to-
separate
yeah.
thing.
If we want them to be able to enter this, whether or not they can get out.
And then a chain signal. Oh, I'm out of chain signals. A chain signal at the end of this one, because we don't want it to leave unless it has somewhere to go, right?
Yep. And the exact same thing on this other.
Right.
bit.
So a normal signal at the beginning.
Oh wait,
and a
no,
chain.
this is.
Oh, good. They go.
Oh, you are doing bi-directional. Actually, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Does it? I'm not confident.
You can
Oh,
do
but
either
doesn't it
way.
go on the right side? Shouldn't it be here?
Yeah, that's right.
And then a chain signal. Am I out of them again? I keep running out of chain signals. On the exit here, right?
Nice.
Yeah. But this isn't bi-directional, right? Like I would need to mirror this on the other side.
Yeah.
Is that true? So
you've taken a bi-directional train here and just briefly split it into two monodirectional ones.
do you like that, or should I like put a normal signal here and a chain signal here so that they're
either way works perfectly fine.
so
I think
that they can come from either direction.
We're being quite generous in our planning for congestion on a line that will probably never have more than one train.
Fair enough. Do you have one more chain signal or some iron, or I can go grab some, but I'm out.
Yeah, I gotta find it in here.
Well, cool. So we are ready. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. We are ready to expand the oil intake system with another train, which we'll have to do next time because we're out of time, Wesley. But what fantastic progress we made today. It's extremely exciting that we have... Go ahead.
I also just want to point out, I have watched the Yogscast. They do an annual Christmas charity stream of OpenTTD, which is a train management game that uses very similar train mechanics. And they've played it every year for like 15 years.
Okay.
And they still have no the heck idea how a train signal and a chain signal or a train block work at all.
Hey, that makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
It is confusing. But yeah, so we will pick up where we left off, guys. Thanks for coming, chat. It's been a fantastic Factorio day, and we will continue tomorrow at the same time, which is now minus 2 hours ago, tomorrow night. So if you're interested, please hit that follow button. Join us tomorrow, and we will continue to expand the factory. We must consume the resources, Wesley. We must do it.
We must.
I
just want to check because now it's been running for a while. How many of those accumulators we have?
Oh yeah, well a lot. I assume
that might be the first thing we do next time. Is I mean, we've got
switch
a
to
couple
solar.
hundred. solar panels ready to be put down, if we've got a
Mhm.
couple hundred accumulators ready to be put down, we can switch to solar energy.
Yep.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right. Well, that'll be step 1. Step 1, solar power. Step 2, more oil.
Yes.
I love it.
and
All
we
right.
can get some modules, get the whole
Yes.
thing running.
Yep.
Running great.
Fantastic. Let's do it. Thank you, chat. See you tomorrow. Thanks, Wes, for joining
Thanks
us.
for joining,
And
everybody.
let's continue tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.